Tonight, 2 young lives lost in a horror Lake Macquarie crash. A mother of 5 stabbed to death in her Sydney home. Macklemore's surprising pledge to Australians ahead of his NRL Grand Final performance. And after a 37-year premiership drought, Richmond completes an AFL fairy tale.
This is NBN News with Jane Goldsmith.
Good evening. Police have voiced their frustration with drivers who take major risks behind the wheel despite repeated safety messages. The frank warning comes after 5 lives were lost on our roads in the past 24 hours, including 2 young mates killed at Lake Macquarie.
Warnings, threats, pleas, nothing seems to work.
Firefighters have been hard at work overnight trying to extinguish a large blaze at a factory in Melbourne's southeast. Emergency crews responded to reports of a large explosion at the former Volvo facility just after midnight. A productive task turned fatal tragedy has prompted firefighters to remind locals about the dangers of bushfires. The warning comes after yesterday's fatality on the Central Coast. Samantha Long has more.
Fire safety is in the spotlight today after a 61-year-old man died while conducting a private burn on his rural property in Palm Grove. The fire burnt out of control.
Samantha Long reporting there. Across the mid-north coast, water carters are struggling to keep up with demand. Property owners on tank water are desperate for supply due to a severe shortage of rainfall.
The clouds are teasing and the forecast is promising rain, but it's a prediction property owners can't rely on.
The small coastal town of Old Bar has welcomed a record crowd and a number of combi vans into its park. The Old Bar Beach Festival celebrates the local lifestyle, food and a love of classic cars. Georgia Ma reports.
Cruising into Old Bar, it's clear it's not its usual sleepy little village of 4,000.
Still to come, Djodan will be in with all of the day's sport. But next, another former PM weighs into the marriage equality debate. There were moments of terror in Melbourne today. A car rampaged through the city's CBD, prompting fears of another deliberate attack. Police say the person behind the wheel was a 15-year-old boy who was eventually tasered and arrested in the middle of the street.
Hurtling dangerously in reverse through the middle of Melbourne. Pedestrians aghast as the SUV speeds erratically through the city just before 8 a.m.
The friendship between Barack Obama and Prince Harry has taken centre court. The pair all smiles while watching the basketball at the Invictus Games in Toronto. The former US president and his vice, Joe Biden, were surprise guests at the tournament, there to cheer on US war veterans and thank them for their service. What a thrill for the players. But it's time for sport now with Djodan. And Richmond's fans waited a long time, but it was worth it, Sam.
Jane, didn't they romp home? We'll take a look at the AFL decider after the break as Richmond break a 37-year premiership drought in convincing fashion. And the countdown to the NRL decider. Final preparations for the Storm and Cowboys. What a difference a year makes. 12 months ago, Richmond missed the finals, were dealing with boardroom infighting and were considering sacking their coach. Now they're the toast of the AFL, overcoming a nervous start to defeat the Adelaide Crows and win their first grand final since 1980.
The Tigers are going to win the premiership in 2017.
A drought-breaking triumph, restoring Richmond as an AFL powerhouse.
Cowboys coach Paul Green believes his side's turbulent journey to the NRL Grand Final has made them a stronger unit ahead of tomorrow's decider against the Storm. North Queensland have had to endure tough games, long road trips and scheduling issues, but they believe it's what's made them great.
Grand Final Eve has hardly been glamorous for the Cowboys.
Surf life saving clubs from across the state set up camp at Foster's Main Beach this morning for the first competition of the season. Day one, a test of endurance.
No time was wasted getting into the water. Most eager to get back on the boards for the Ironman events.
It's a fantastic cause, Jane. Great to see them doing it.
For sure. Thanks, Sam. Stay with us. Weather's next.
Tonight's weather report brought to you by Advanced Aussie Blinds and Security, Port Macquarie.
Time for the weather now. Overcast skies across much of the viewing area today, with mostly mild to warm temperatures. But first, this morning's sunrise from Stevens Peak overlooking Wreck Beach at beautiful Port Stephens. A stunning shot, Serena, and such a spectacular part of the world. Thank you. Up to the satellite, a band of cloud across much of the state's north with a trough may generate a few showers this evening. Speckled cloud in the south with another trough is bringing the odd light shower. Tomorrow, a high in the south looks to bring a mostly sunny and settled day. Onshore winds may trigger a few showers across Victoria and Tasmania. A low pressure trough will remain over inland Queensland, the Northern Territory and northern parts of WA and could cause a few showers and storms. Partly cloudy across the region today with strong southwesterlies at times. Quite warm in parts, 27 for Taree, 28 in Port Macquarie. Cooler at Dorrigo with 13 to 17 today, 16 to 22 at Coffs Harbour. The forecast, partly cloudy with a slight chance of a shower tomorrow morning. For the grand final in Sydney, light winds and clear skies forecast. But a mostly fine day on the way for the mid-north coast, a top of 24 for Nambucca Heads, 25 for Kempsey and Wauchope, 26 at Bulahdelah. Coastal waters information now, seas at a metre on the Coffs Coast with a 3-metre swell, 1.5 metre seas for the Macquarie Coast and a 4-metre swell, winds becoming southerly up to 20 knots. The sun to rise at 6:30 and to set at 10 to 7. And the outlook for Coffs, Monday partly cloudy with a medium chance of showers in the north, a slight chance elsewhere, 22 degrees for Monday and Tuesday. In Port Macquarie, chance of a shower for much of this week. Rain will be very welcome. And in Taree, 24 degrees on Monday, possible showers for much of the week. And head to NBN News on Facebook and Twitter for more news and sport. And a reminder before we go that daylight saving begins early tomorrow morning in New South Wales. Clocks need to go forward 1 hour, the new time officially kicking in at 2 a.m. when it becomes 3 a.m. And that's our bulletin for this evening. The Today Show will have the latest news tomorrow morning.
And we'll have the NRL Grand Final coverage from 1 p.m. at daylight savings time.